This is a Corkboard podcast.
Candyman, 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 Candyman. Candyman.
Welcome to Classics Catch Up, the show where a former fundamentalist and film school failure finally finds the time to watch himself some unforgettable films. I'm joined today, as always, by my lovely wife and one other today. Not even a whole host. I don't even think it's worth calling a host. Who we got with us?
Hey, I'm a host. Yes.
Well, okay, host, but not like host, as in the other term.
It's like 2.5 hosts.
Is that what they called it after Ashton Kutcher take over for Charlie Sheen?
Yes.
Okay, so I was fairly checked out while we were making plans to do this one. So I'm going to toss it over to Abby. And Abby, you're going to take us through this introduction. What are we watching today?
So today we are watching the original Candyman from 1992.
Spooky.
It's, I can't remember his name. I think Tony
Todd.
Tony Todd, yeah.
Yeah.
He has haunted my nightmares throughout my entire life. I did not watch this
Really?
movie
Okay.
when I was a kid, nor as an adult, because he was so freaky in my mind.
Okay.
My sister loved horror movies, and she's 12 years older than me, so she would watch, all this fucked up stuff, and I just have to kind of sit there cowering, covering my eyes. So this will also be my first time seeing it, and I'm kind of excited because I'm ready for it now. I'm a big boy.
So you've seen like parts of it through your fingers, but not like the whole thing or anything. Okay.
How old were you?
Maybe 6, younger probably.
So I've never seen it either. The only thing that I know about it is that the guy's named Candyman, and I think it maybe has specifically racial undertones to the villain, but I don't know if that's true or if that's just inferred through the fact that it's Tony Todd and most slasher villains are white guys.
Well, technically he is, well, that might be spoilers.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that, we don't want to, yeah. I think maybe that also might be part of the lore from the later films, like sort of what we were talking about with Halloween being like, oops, we now know that Mike Myers is, the brother because it's 30 years. 40,
And it's
50
just
years
so in pop culture.
Yeah, it's hard to avoid. Candyman does use a hook to kill people, I believe. So that's dope. I'm a big fan of anyone using a hook to kill people.
Also bugs.
And bugs. Right. Yeah. It's a whole bugs thing. Okay. I'm not going to love that. Bugs don't really freak me out, but like they're also not my least favorite thing.
Yeah, they're not great. Swarm's not great.
Yeah, we grew up in the cicadas area of the country, and I grew up in a trailer that got mobbed by ladybugs every fall. So you would have like just thousands of ladybugs on the windowsills, and
10 ladybugs? Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
1,000?
Yeah.
1,000 of anything is too much.
And literally it would get, not to get too blue about it, but it would get to a point where they were thick enough that like you could step and it would just be crunchy. Like
oh
popcorn.
my God.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's the
Insect.
cruelty hour. I know basically nothing about this movie. My sister likes it. She said the remake was okay, or the sequel, or whatever.
Sequel or I'm honestly not sure about this one. I know there are sequels. I don't know if they also did a remake.
Well, the remake Jordan Peele just did it's a direct sequel to the first one.
One of those.
He did in 2021.
Gotcha.
And I say only Jordan Peele because I don't remember the other girl's name that did.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, the Key and Peele special, Candyman. Did Tony Todd come back for that remake? I can't remember if he had died by then. Because he just passed.
I am not sure.
Yeah,
but that would be really cool if he was able to.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about it afterward. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of.
You're not
slashers.
a huge horror guy in general.
Me either.
I like specific kinds of horror. I like creature horror.
Which I think this may have an element of.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm just
I
not
know nothing.
big on slashers. I think that they're typically boring unless there's like a real big twist on, it's like a play on the genre. I just don't slashers don't thrill me. I'm like, yeah, it's just a guy who wants to kill people. That's a dime a dozen. And it can be an interesting vessel to explore characters in, but no more than like being stuck in a mall during a zombie apocalypse. It's the same kind of vibe of just like the zombie is back, is sort of secondary to what the story is, which is about these characters. And slashers at their best function that same way to me, but the actual slasher itself is not. It's just like whatever, different flavor of the same thing. I suppose you can say the same about creature horrors though.
Yeah.
What's our predicted rating? My sister says it's really good, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10 pixie sticks filled with poison given to you by your dad.
Okay.
Oh, your dad.
Real case, look it up.
Oh my God.
True facts. Yeah. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 fingers severed by a sharpened hook, because that's going to happen. I'm sure somebody loses their fingers in this franchise. And I think that's probably mostly going to be because I think it's going to have some really good practical effects. And I mean, that's what I do like the most about horror films, and how they've blazed the trail for those of us who like to do practical effects and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I'll have a lot of respect for it. I don't really care to have watched it, and it's never really even been one that was on my radar to be like, yeah, I should really watch that. So I'm interested to see if I come away from it with a different opinion. Abs?
I'm gonna give my completely biased black opinion and just give it an 8 before I watch it, and then I'll give my real opinion on the other side of it.
Okay, all right.
But gotta support the people. Can't step on them without giving them a chance. Which,
facts.
Not saying you guys did, but
yeah. Well,
solidarity.
In anticipation of him joining last minute, what do you think Kaylin's going to rate it, guys?
I think Kaylin has zero context for this movie and will give it a low score because he too does not enjoy horror movies for the most part.
I think he's going to give it 5 roach-covered ice hooks out of
10. 5?
There's bugs involved in this. I quit.
Yeah. I'm going to say he's probably going to give it 6 Tony Todd's pretending to be someone else.
I don't know what was wrong with my rating system.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know, but Kaylin always changes it up. All right, guys, we'll be right back after we've unwrapped and popped a Candyman in our mouth.
Pause.
Anybody else want to take that out?
Nope. Keep
stick
it
with that one. Okay.
I said,
Oh, Candyman, it's so big. Welcome to Kaylin's Corner, everybody, the podcast within a podcast where we decide to include Kaylin. Hi, Kaylin. So we recorded the intro without you.
Yep.
Yeah. Hi, how are you doing?
Not too bad. I could have been over here earlier if I'd known.
Yeah, but Abby had to be he had to get to work, and it was a whole thing. We only had 10 minutes to do it. We could re-record the whole thing now, but that would be disingenuous.
But it would be weird.
We really did lock in and just knock it out this morning, though. I gotta say,
it was a pretty tight 5.
I think, genuinely, we were recording for less than from the time we sat down to get into it. We're really,
I want to say less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So, what do you know about Candyman, Kaylin?
I know that there was a reboot, I think, in the past handful of years.
Yeah, we vaguely mentioned on that earlier, Jordan Peele.
Oh, yeah, I did not realize that he was involved with it. But yeah, I know that it's something about one of those things where you say a name 3 times and they appear. I think a mirror's involved and some supernatural guy goes around killing people.
Yeah, as Liz just said in sign language, you know more than the rest of us combined.
Cool. I've never watched it, and I didn't actually have any desire to watch it.
Yeah, well, tonight you were going to. So welcome to the show, Kaylin. Always happy to have you.
So, I'll watch horror movies like Alien or something like that. I like creature features a lot.
Yep.
But the weird supernatural ones and stuff like that, I guess they freak me out a little sometimes.
Yeah. It's hard to, I don't think your parents were super religious, but it's hard to not have absorbed some of that religious weirdness around it.
I feel like a lot of spoopy films when I was growing up, my mom was hella Christian, so we weren't allowed to watch a lot of things, but my sister would be babysitting and would drag us to go and watch things.
Nice.
I think the first thing that I can remember her taking me to see was Summer of Sam, and that was my first time seeing any nudity in a movie. And I was way too young to be watching this thing. And I'm sitting in this movie theater, a child, and I got an erection, and I'm like, my thing hurt.
Oh no!
But it hurt. They're like, shut up.
Oh God! It only took 2 minutes and 39 seconds of not having Liz on the show to start talking about dicks and erections. Oh
If it
God.
makes it any better, it's child. So
No, that doesn't. I don't think that makes it better.
Undo.
All right, Caitlin, what do you think you're going to rate this movie? As previously mentioned, not really your jam typically.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened with Halloween. I think I dropped my score
Yeah, I
by
think
the
you
end of
did,
it,
yeah.
so I'm not
I
I'm
would
not
wager. I think this is going to be better than Halloween.
okay. Well, I mean, it is newer. It would probably have better special effects and all that.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I mean,
No, okay.
that wasn't. No, that was
saw
just wasn't
hands.
my issue with Halloween.
when
Really,
was Halloween made?
78.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't really my issue with Halloween. But we're not talking about Halloween here.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm still thinking probably like split right in the middle. Not super excited, but
So
maybe it'll turn around.
everyone who isn't Caitlin, you want to say it with me? Probably a 5 or a 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wait, 5 or 6 what though?
Reese's Pieces
5 or 6 Reese's Pieces
covered in blood.
Okay. All right. This bloody slaughter brought to you by Reese's Pieces. We'll be right back after we've ingested a sickeningly sweet amount of Candyman.
When a doomed Central City's airship crashes into a wasteland lake, the lives of 5 individuals become irreversibly tied together in a twisted mystery involving witches, robots, murder, and a burgeoning cult.
As I'm cranking Egan up, Block just has a hose. Stop trying to take your helmet off. I'm not done hosing you down. Stop. Hold yourself steady. Stop it. He's cranking. Right. Okay. Spin around. What? Give me your back. Right. Good. Okay. Hold on.
I do want to suggest that the hose that used to spray her off is one of those like foot pump activated kind, like the hand wash stations at a music festival.
Rough. Yeah.
So the whole time you're like cranking it with one hand and then like stomping your foot on it with the other.
I need to be a one-man band. Egan, this isn't in a city ship. Why is it out here?
I don't know. Once they crash, we should go help with their things. And maybe see if anyone's alive, but we should go help them. They might have stuff that could be more flammable, and therefore it'd be dangerous for it to stay on there.
Definitely, I wouldn't want their ship to detonate more from things inside of their ship that we could have on our non-burning ship.
Elder One, what is that?
Alabar does the thing where he puts his hand up to block the sun and goes, "That looks to be a human ship."
At that moment, the side of that ship explodes and a giant fireball shoots out the side of it.
It's an exploding human ship. Look, it's about to hit those guys over there. This is going to be hilarious. Sit back and watch.
Savara says, Elder One, that is not how we treat humans if we ever seek to share a peace with them. And she puts her hands up to her beak.
Young one, I teach you things and you teach me things, and I appreciate that. Please, by all means.
She is already yelling at the top of her lungs. She's actually doing like a, I want to say it's like a desert call that the tribal Calvec do. I'm not sure exactly what it would sound like because my closest thought is like, yeah, it was turtle sex noises. Yeah, that was, yep. Yeah. I was
wait, hold up. Does it sound like this?
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Oh,
yes. So Block and Egan, you hear that horrible sound.
Someone's killing a goose.
He like half leaps at you, grabbing onto your wrist. His eyes flash open. They look mad and like he's in some sort of a haze. And he leaps at you, pushing you over and mounting on top of you. His other hand with the Vox.
We just met.
With the Vox still in it, he rears that hand back and begins to bring it down to smash in your skull.
Join us weekly for your next escapism fixation. A tightly edited, fast-paced adventure bursting with comedy, drama, and action. Listen now to Book 1, A New Cataclysm, wherever you catch your pods, or hear it and our other shows at patreon.com/corkboard. Book 2 coming December 15th, 2025.
Welcome back to Classics Catch Up. I'm here with my host of friends, here to discuss the cultural classic that is Phantom of the Candyman.
So that was actually one of Tony Todd, right?
Yeah, Tony Todd.
That was one of his goals. He literally, one of the things I looked up said that he wanted to do his own sort of Phantom of the Opera type thing.
He nailed it. I loved it. It was gorgeous. Yeah.
My man was the Rizzler from drip to speech to everything. My man had it all.
All right. Before we get too into it, two things. First
into
off,
him.
This is the first episode into him. First episode we've ever done where we declared no notes. So we just watched the movie. We didn't write anything down. We didn't keep our notes. So we're going to fly from the seat of our pants and based off of our actual, just sort of impression of what we held on to while also taking a break and doing some research. And to that, I want to first off throw to my beautiful wife, Elizabeth, and our 60-second summary. So with no notes.
Okay.
All right. Abby, I see you have your phone in your hand. You want to set a 60-second timer?
Sure.
All right. You give her an update at 30 and 45. All right. And go ahead and count her down whenever you feel comfortable. Kaylin, you want a drink while she does this? Yeah.
It's 30. It's 60.
I'll mix you up something nice. Like a couple of olives and some pimento cheese.
Oh no, I've been doing some of the TikTok uploads and I refuse to talk over people at the moment because it's a fucking pain in the ass.
She edited exactly one TikTok captions and was like, oh my God, we're terrible. We need to be better about mic control. And I was like, yeah, welcome to the fucking show.
It's all fun and games until you upload a TikTok.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, so we cut in on our friend Helen, and she's learning the story of the Candyman as played by Sam Raimi's baby brother, Ted. No, he's not the one that plays the Candyman. He's the hot, not a boyfriend that comes over, but that doesn't really matter. Candyman Story 1, Candyman Story 2, Candyman Story 3. We learn that she's writing her thesis with her best buddy. And then we cut to two lovely maids who are like, yeah, well, that took place in our project, so we're not going to talk about it anymore, but here's the scoop. Okay, so then she goes to the projects with her friend, gets hit on by a bunch of people, and then goes into the apartment where it supposedly happened and doesn't really see anything, comes back out, and then a spooky girl is standing there, and she's like, why are you here? And she went, sorry, white people just cause problems for us, which, facts. She researches the Candyman very, very little, and then she gets attacked by a mobster, and then she ends up in the hospital, and then it turns out the mobster was not the Candyman, just a dude pretending to be the Candyman, and the Candyman is actually mad hot, very mystical, and appears in random places.
And time.
That wasn't an update.
That was not a good update.
I am so sorry.
Continue.
No, I don't want to now.
Okay, so
bad update.
Picking up from there for an additional 60 seconds.
Kaylin, let's give Kaylin 60 seconds. Let's do it.
So fake Candyman did give her a really bad shiner, and they do a police lineup. She does pick out the right guy, and he's apparently getting
we never see him again.
A bunch of murders and stuff that he may or may not have done. She goes back home, has dinner with her husband for a little bit, and then it flashes forward a couple days. She's with Bernadette. They have the pictures from the phone that got smashed up during the attack, and everything's looking good. So she's walking back to her car, and then she just gets this weird, creepy feeling and stuff. And oh no, real Candyman is across the parking garage from her and basically hypnotizes her. And the next thing she knows, she wakes up in a puddle of blood and a dead Rottweiler head and
10 seconds.
A missing baby. And I am not as fast as Liz. I actually froze now. I can't.
We have found Kaylin's weakness. If you just count down in his visual range, he shuts
stops.
down.
Everything shuts down.
Well, shit. Are we just going around doing it? I'll go with
I mean, this is not how this is supposed to work.
I'm just going to set my own timer.
No, do it.
I love you very much. You're all the way over there.
So she's thinking she's falsely accused of all this, and
Oh,
trying to get her name cleared.
that's
and
right,
everything.
Caitlin. That's right. You shut that woman
And she
up.
goes back home and
Talk over her. Yeah, that's
then
right.
the Candyman shows up in her apartment and is
This movie
attacking
is
her.
really about straight white men.
And
talking about black
Bernadette
men
shows
and
up
women.
at the door.
Bernadette.
And Bernadette, yes.
Bernie.
And now she popped for a missing baby and killing her friend. And she gets put in a psych ward and dosed with a shit ton of Thorazine for over a month. And she finally comes to and she's like, "You're under for murder 1." And she's talking with this doctor who's assigned to her case. And she's like, "No, well, I can prove it. I can summon him." And she turns to the closest mirror and says Candyman 5 times. And nothing happens for a few seconds. And all of a sudden, Dr. Man just starts getting ripped up the back by the hook hand from the real Candyman who's appeared in the room. And then he just says, "Hi, you're mine now," or something, and gets yanked through the window by one very visible string, you said? Yes. And so she goes on escape and, like, kills a random lady? She definitely killed that lady, right?
And you had 90 seconds in addition to your initial 60 seconds.
That's why timing it is a bad idea.
So then she busts through the window. She steals the nurse's outfit. She knocks out the nurse in the process. She escapes from the hospital. Once she escapes from the hospital, she gets into her own apartment again, which, surprise, her husband is in fact sleeping with his teaching assistant, who is now taking over the entire apartment and is actively painting it pink. Dana Scully, not Dana Scully, her name is Helen. She walks in and just kind of stares around for a second and then speaks words, and teenager cries, and then husband comes out and cries, and then she leaves again in different shoes and with her makeup done, which was not something that she had on when she walked in. And then she goes and tries to find the Candyman in the abandoned apartments and find the baby that he stole, and she does find the Candyman and she stabs him with a hook that she picked up from and then he takes over. No, 20 seconds, I'm looking at it. And then he takes over her body, and then they end up in a bonfire with the baby, and then he sets them on fire because he's trying to save her. Why did you do that?
And we're out of time. I'd like to thank everyone who called in.
So was Helen, because she ends up dying, but the baby was saved.
It was like right there. I could have done it if you weren't being a butt.
Yeah, if time didn't exist, you guys would be just fine.
He is the problem.
Yeah, he's the reason that you haven't nailed it in 16 episodes of this show.
No, come back.
Wait, baby.
Here's my 10-second summary. It's Phantom of the Opera, but he's black and he was murdered for loving a white woman. Like, that's straight up it. Like, instead of he was born with a disfigured face, it's just, hey, I was a black man who at the wrong time loved a white woman. I was murdered for it, and this is my
retribution.
Retribution, yeah.
Retribution is to also kill her.
And that's where it gets complicated.
Yeah, kill her and the baby because she was pregnant. When he was killed initially.
I think the baby was supposed to symbolize himself.
I think it was supposed to represent the baby that she was pregnant with.
Oh. Yeah, I missed that.
Not deep.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Two of you guys go, like, what's your takes?
Because we're the minorities in the room?
Yeah. I want the black man versus the white woman. And then the two white guys, we're going to go smoke a cigar and talk about stocks.
And interrupt a woman when she still has time left on her timer.
That was done. Your timer was done. Okay. Listen, you can talk all you want when the timer says it's fine.
So anywho, just past the white man's ego, we're gonna. Well, anyway, we're gonna.
Also, those women were not cops. They kept being like, "We look like cops. We look like cops."
I mean,
no,
it's just because it was Dana Scully.
Well, did you see Bernadette's skirt at one point? She's in a fucking tweed micro mini. You're not a cop.
You don't know. It's the 90s. The cops could be just as weird as everyone else.
They dress like Dana Scully.
Also, we should bring up that
shoulder
problem.
pads.
We thought it was Dana Scully the entire time.
The entire time. I didn't at first, and then I was like, no, it totally is Gillian Anderson.
It super is. It's Gillian
I thought
Anderson.
her nose was a little off.
I just thought she looked different on X-Files like 2 years later, and I was very sure that was Gillian Anderson.
She got like a reverse nose job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
that
listen, I've given a few reverse nose jobs in my life. And
don't want to know what that means.
When he punched that kid in the face one time.
I'm really sad because I am a huge X-Files fan, And I was really excited to discover that she was in this movie that I was really enjoying, which, not to bury the lead, like, I really liked this movie, actually. I think it was really good. I think it had all of the tangibility and importance and things to say that, like, most horror films don't to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it is inherent.
It wasn't super obvious.
I don't think so. I didn't think so.
And it really wasn't a slasher. Like
that's a big. That was a big.
There was some gore in there, but like
not really a slasher.
you only actually saw 3 people.
Psychological thriller. Psychological thriller. That could have been. That could have easily been.
But like we saw dead bloated Bernadette. We saw dead dog. We saw dead girlfriend.
Yeah.
We
So
heard about
gory,
slashed up
but not a slasher
we
film.
saw that baby drink honey blood off a man's finger.
That was kind of weird.
That's just nasty.
Replace every death, not even the gore that we see, but just literally the fact that we know how it was done. Replace that with a crazy Russian with a knife and the like reason why, the motive being like political, and you've got your average Bourne movie. Like that wasn't that crazy.
Or
as
make
far
her
as
10
murders
and
go.
it's the orphan.
Right, yeah. Like it's any number of horror / action movies that have lots of gore around the death. It's not like an insane level of slasher.
Right.
And it's not pointless like most slashers.
Yeah, I liked that it had like a historical background. And I also really liked the acknowledgement of that's how urban legends work, because everybody was like, no, this is the story. No, this is the story.
Yeah.
No, this is what I knew her.
It exists. You believe it.
So the whole thing was him trying to like make sure that they, come be immortal with me. So because our names will be written on walls everywhere.
And he even said at one point, he was like, he didn't say it in these words, but he was basically like, oh, you had someone arrested for being the Candyman. So now I'm not the Candyman.
Yep.
So I don't exist. So you fucked that up.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix that.
Do you know how delightful it is to have everyone talking about you, but you don't actually have to do anything? You doubted me. And now I've got to kill you and reset everything.
Good quotes there too.
My God!
Really
Again, I say the Rizzler.
Yeah.
What was that really good line that I?
At
The very first line of the movie. Oh fuck!
I'll look it up.
Blood is meant to be shed.
Yeah.
What is the point of blood if not to be shed? It
was hard as fuck.
That's
into my cells, but okay.
All right, Mr. Science Boy.
To be oxidized and to fuel protein molecules and oxygen molecules.
This is not a science podcast.
This is
what if? Okay, but real quick, the magic school bus.
Ooh.
Jump on the magic school bus.
I would
Let's learn about some bees.
And this is so off topic, but I would super be down to do a magic school bus, but what the magic is we're all just stoned as shit while watching the magic school bus.
It would have to be like shrooms. It would have to
you would fall asleep.
Me? No, I wouldn't.
You would.
What? They acting like I'm not a professional.
You're not anymore.
It's like riding a bike, right? Anywho, you know this whole thing was based off of a real slave guy. I don't know if 19th century, that would have still...
It's 1800s.
Yeah, so they'd have still been likely still a slave.
1863, I think.
We're very freshly unslaved.
I believe 1863, but only I'm saying that only because I know it led to, but was not immediately followed by the end of the Civil War, which was in 65. So I think we're talking about 63 here. But either way, it's between 60 and 65. Those are the key years where it was made illegal across all of the United States, with the giant caveat of here's all the other ways that you can basically make it legal, etc. But unfortunately, that's where we are.
Oh my goodness, too many of these things are actually based on true stories.
I was kind of afraid that was the case.
The story of Candyman is based off of a guy, Daniel Robitaille.
Okay.
Who was a slave and fell in love with a white woman and was murdered for that. The woman in Cabrini Green that was murdered.
Real quick,
Greasy
let's
Jean,
acknowledge
I said while we were watching it, that's based on a true story.
Yeah.
And let's just real quick acknowledge all of the hundreds, if not thousands, of unnamed individuals as well.
I mean,
not to be too blue about it,
yeah.
But yeah, we have one name here for a category of humans that just existed for a long time. But
On the sort of urban legend type differing origin stuff. Not to say that one isn't correct, but I saw another one where it says that Tony Todd either came up with or helped come up with the character's backstory. And I don't know if that's just saying like the entire backstory or just coming up with who he was and what his name was, because he apparently named his character Granville T. Candyman. And it does mention a forbidden interracial love affair with a white woman whose portrait he paints, which is what the guy who looked like Ben Franklin talked about in there during the movie. That guy looked very strange, but that was just a different origin.
Ben Franklin as played by the Abacore Tuna.
Yes. Yes. And then the movie itself, the screenplay, was based on that book by Clive Barker. Is that what it said at the beginning?
Great question, Kaylin. I don't know.
Never mind. Okay, so it was based on...
I did see that. I was muted.
No one was on their mics.
I'm sorry.
I just stared at Kaylin and he stared at me.
Yep. But the original book was supposed to happen in Liverpool, in England. Liverpool, yes. But they kind of obviously switched that around to get it to the U.S. in Chicago, which is why they changed around a couple of the characters and made Bernadette black.
Also Candyman, because the guy in the book is depicted as a white person.
Yeah, and it also is why the bonfire doesn't make a ton of sense to us.
Yeah, they just kind of mentioned the bonfire, and they were like, it's for the party, and then there wasn't a party.
Because apparently that's like
I guess there was a mob party.
I think they had set it up for so-called party, and this was literally just the project's way of getting rid of a lot of unwanted things.
And it was like, this all went down.
Yeah, that was how they justified it for the movie, but it was based on a tradition for Guy Fawkes Night celebrations in England.
November 5th.
That makes sense, yeah. Which is also one of the Mission Possibles or something.
Mm-hmm. V for Vendetta.
Yes.
That was a funny joke. That was a funny joke because it's literally the Guy Fawkes story.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was funny. I liked it.
Baby, you're funny.
Woo.
Abby, I feel like we cut you off earlier when you were kind of on a roll and talking about the inspirations that were going on.
Yeah, and then I got real upset about it, and they didn't. Their neighbor, Ruthie
Jean and Anna Marie.
Ruthie Jean's neighbor heard gunshots in her apartment, and they did. Yeah. They were able to just push through the mirror and get into her apartment.
Were you talking about the real case?
Yes.
She also had severe schizophrenia, so
she was mentally ill.
Her area of the hallway because she would come out and yell.
So
can we just get like a real quick, like a 60-second summary from my true crime obsessed wife and from the gentleman who just did some research on what is the case that we're talking about? Because I don't really know. Like, give us just a quick breakdown.
Name.
I mean,
it was
Ruthie Mae McCoy.
Ruthie Mae McCoy, right.
They used her name for both of the two different characters in the movie.
Ruthie Mae McCoy, she was a mentally unstable woman who did live in the projects, and she would come out and berate people in the hallway if they were too loud near her door, but she would also come out and say that she was hearing people in the walls. And everyone was like, no, Ruthie, no, that's not happening. But then it kept happening and it kept happening and it kept happening. And then one night, the boys, essentially, they were young men, but they had figured out a way to pop through exactly like in the movie. You can pop out the mirror and basically enter the bathroom of the person adjacent to you. They had figured out how to do that. They were roaming the walls, and they were intentionally fucking with Ruthie. They would go and they would bang on the wall behind her bathroom and like shake her mirror and make it seem like demons. And then one night they decided to break in, and she freaked out and they freaked out and they fucking killed her.
She was on the phone with the police as they were trying to get into. The lady on the phone just assumed she was crazy.
Yeah, they're like, Ruthie, you're calling again.
And so she, is murdered. Her neighbor says she heard gunshots from in there. The police pull up and then refuse to enter the apartment for fear of being sued if they did. And
because she didn't answer the door when they knocked, and they were like, well, if we bust down the door, if we white cops in the projects bust down the door on a mentally unstable woman,
which I just call 100% bullshit. You have the hurt of gunshots. She had called you prior to from her apartment. I mean, it's clearly a landline from her apartment, and you get there and she's unresponsive. Like, go inside. But instead, her body sat there and rot for 2 days before they finally had somebody come and drill the lockout.
Was like, you really gotta go. You guys really gotta go in there.
So I got upset and wasn't even gonna bring it up because
I was because they straight up they very intentionally told that story.
All right, here's my white man take on that. Sorry. My white presenting whatever, essentially white man take on this. Okay. Them not wanting to go in there is also a symptom of the problem, not necessarily the problem itself.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to like give a free pass to every one of those cops that was there and chose to not like make it their problem.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a level of
that's years, if not decades, of exacerbated issues leading to this problem here. And these individuals in the moment are probably doing their best to respond the best they can within like a percentage.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I don't know. It's also Chicago.
It's Chicago.
It's Chicago, so who knows?
They could have sent any goddamn body in there to deal with the problem.
And really a large part of the problem was she needed mental health help, and she probably needed some sort of in-home aid who then would have corroborated everything that she was saying.
Yeah,
to be fair, it was the 90s, and hell, we're still struggling in 2025 to take care of people with mental health issues properly. So,
Kaylin, how would you solve the mental health issues in our disadvantaged minorities in America?
I abstain.
I am Epstein, is what I heard.
No.
Oh,
I
no.
abstain.
I abstain?
Kaylin, you cannot bury your head in the sand. That is well, I don't want to say 90% of the problem, but it's a big part of the problem.
No, but also, though, I do respect Kaylin because he shuts the fuck up, and I don't in these conversations. I engage in sometimes antagonize. I agree with you. I just want to be clear about that. And
since we're on the topic,
yeah,
I need the both of you, and especially you.
Oh, good. I'm not part of the both. I'm a girl.
No, the both of you, and especially you.
That's
okay,
3 people.
The 3 of you.
I love that audio medium pointing at people.
Hey, I'm a newbie. Anywho, the 3 of you. Put your white guilt away. Y'all are some of the most loving individuals that I have ever had in my life, and you don't ever have to carry that around.
Hey, I only have 31% white guilt. I'm 132nd Cherokee, motherfucker, and you're on my land.
I don't know if these percentages.
While we're talking about guilt, I would like to guilt this movie in 2 ways.
Okay.
But they were 2 ways that were.
Wait, are we talking about movies?
We're talking about a movie.
Wait, is one of them that it somehow became a white savior thing?
No, they're straight up bloopers that I saw that were just like easily fixable. Well, there are actually 3, as
The
well
Shot?
as many others, but there are 3 that I would like to address that were glaring.
Hell yeah, I want to hear about these bloopers.
The first blooper is when Helen has just murdered, in air quotes, murdered Bernadette, and she's in the hospital, and she's like freaking out because Candyman's a coming, and they inject her arm with drugs.
Oh my god! Yeah,
for a second. You don't have time
was the quickest. Papa done drugs. You put
she just
you put 1,000 milligrams in that woman in 1/2 of a nanosecond. I do
in
not
her collarbone,
in her shoulder,
and she
in
just
her
instantly
shoulder.
knocks out like she was
Like they put it literally
neurotoxin
around the joint area. Like there's nothing there that's going to do that. What you've done is blown out muscle at the best, and it was literally a stab, inject, done.
I mean, I wouldn't even call that a stab. They just kind of barely poke. And
I feel like they just touched the thing to her and then wiped it with the.
I think they honestly just forgot to put a needle in the thing, and they were like, "Make it look good."
Well, we don't have any needles. Well, fuck.
The second glaring error.
If we do it fast, they won't notice.
Yeah. Oh, too fast. No.
The second glaring error came minutes after that when Candyman is swooped backwards out the window, and you just straight up see one of his support lines for his harness. Like it's just right there. And he pulls back like normally a person flying back through a window does, kind of like a Jesus thing. He straight up cannonballed himself. He went
he's gonna
in.
break through the window, even if it's breakaway glass. He wanted to keep his arms safe.
And my third problem becomes that breakaway glass and how it clearly shatters in frame. And then 2 seconds later, when not Dana Scully has been released from the arm straps, she just climbs through an empty fucking window.
Yeah.
No crunching, no glass, nothing in the frame, no jagged edges.
Yeah.
And then moments later, she tackles some other poor person either working there or another patient and just slams him to the ground.
She was a nurse, and
She
she
definitely
totally
didn't deserve
does.
that.
But also
Cracked
the
her head.
banging on the window, and the nurse was just like, "Oh, patient outside."
Yeah.
Which that kind of gets into my whole this is not a slasher thing, is that this is I don't want to say in It Follows scenario, because that credits It Follows with being the first one who ever did that, which is not the case. But it is in the vernacular, I think, appropriate to say it's sort of an It Follows scenario where this is something that is stuck to you and you can't get away from it, which not to compare the two films, but to compare the two films real quick. I feel like that's what happens in Halloween, but we're just left being like, why? And should we care? Whereas in this, it's at least
you asked for it.
Yeah.
You asked for it. Yeah.
Reason.
And then here's the reason why, and not to get back into the race issues, but it's definitely a very race-driven film. We have issues of white savior.
The whole murder
very
is
obvious. The whole
socioeconomic
murder,
stuff too, with projects versus her,
and how her
building
apartment
supposed
used to be the project,
but it's on the other side of whatever.
the gentrified building.
Yeah.
They did kind of address that with a fun line that I liked when Bernadette goes, "And how much are you paying for this?"
Yeah, and how much did you
I
pay
don't
for
want to
this
talk
place?
about it.
Yeah. But I mean, with that being said, I feel like a lot of movies have come out across the years that are with the attempt to shine a light on a problem. How much light do you think is actually shed by this movie? Do you feel like anybody that would have watched it at the time would have been like, wow, those are some pretty shitty situations? And
Ooh, especially the shit on the walls in the toilet. Shitty situations.
Sorry.
I lost track of it where if it was in the
we haven't actually talked about the shit on the walls.
Oh yeah,
that it was a shitty
gross.
situation. I said, yeah, like the walls in the bathroom.
So on all the walls there was suites for the suite.
On 2 walls, on exactly 2 areas.
And one of it was graffiti, and one of it was like
Mary Ann's
human excrement.
apartment, and then on the wall in the bathroom.
I think it was Anne Marie.
Yep.
Okay, but the when she climbed through the window and was in his domain, I guess. It was everywhere in there as well.
Okay, but that doesn't really count as it was everywhere.
You're right. You're so right.
It was everywhere in this one, in his lair, and then in 2 places.
And his big
But
scary
to wrap
face.
back, to wrap back to the poop, it was written in. She apparently a child was maimed in this bathroom.
Yeah.
Had his.
It was found floating in the toilet.
There's
was
a
the
word for when one's genitals are removed.
And
but I don't
castrated?
remember
And
that word.
the kid,
no, because
Jake.
castrated is specifically
Jake's
the
like
balls.
better dead than that, or whatever he said.
Well, either way, he's a eunuch, or the child is a eunuch now, and
a
it was.
eunuch because again, eunuch is balls.
God damn! Wait, so they leave the shaft? What's the point?
Pissing?
You can sit down. Anyways, in this bathroom, so very clearly. I mean, it was chunky and nutty, smeared on the walls. Shit, sweets for the sweet, and that personally was a lot. I would also like to bring up the razor blade and the fucking piece of candy.
Yeah. It was
Walter nicked herself
trying to Candyman.
Yeah, because she went ooh, and then there was blood, but her gloves weren't cut, and we never re-referenced that finger being
Nope,
injured.
never referenced that. I definitely thought that would come back. Was like, oh, you bled on the thing.
Your
or
DNA
whatever.
is in the room.
Actually, remember?
Actually,
so she cut herself on that, and that was the first time Candyman actually seemed to show up. And then at the end, jumping ahead to the end, whenever she gets summoned, the girl, what's her name, kind of cut herself with the knife while she was making the meat, and she goes,
which
ow.
there was one more blooper in regards to that. She had clearly recorded the soundbite over because she says "ow" before her lips say "ow."
Yeah,
that's pretty
what
good.
Indian are we talking about here? for those of us that don't know?
So in the
Yeah, because we never got to the ending of our 60-second summary that was 3.5 minutes.
For that.
So if you guys would let your boy take a stab at it.
Ooh.
Anyways,
stab.
So in the end of the film, wow, I'm just terrible. I don't even know why I tried to do that. Wait. I have forgotten the lead girl's name.
Helen.
All right. So anyways, Helen, in the end, is crawling through this giant pile of trash to save the baby, ends up being critically burned, does save the baby, and after she dies, her husband, who's been cheating on her with the college floozy, is at home crying in the bathroom. The college floozy is like trying to cook a steak or some meat. She's just throwing shit all over the all over the kitchen because she's mad that he's sad that his wife died.
It's like, girl, she literally just died.
And
not even divorced. Chill out.
And so she's slinging shit all over the kitchen. She's in there fucking slamming a knife into her hand, which is just such kid logic. Anywho, he's in the bathroom and he's crying about his wife and he's repeating her name. And at a certain point, he stands up and he's in the mirror and he ends up saying her name 5 times. And as he finishes saying her name 5 times, the silly girl in the kitchen nicks herself with the knife that she's been slapping into her hand repeatedly. And then Helen is now summoned in her, I almost said cooked, that felt rude, charred form, and murders him in the same way because now she's carrying the hook. And I guess
A really fabulous hot glue job on her head.
But did you see her makeup? That shit was wild. She was like hot as shit and then burned to fuck.
Yep.
And they literally just slapped makeup over the burn scars. They didn't give her a new wig or anything like most people would have at an actual burial.
The issue's there, but
Do you know the butt plug when you get buried?
Yes, I'm unfortunately aware.
Kaylin knows. Kaylin's my MVP of these things.
Who gives you a butt plug and why?
The mortician, and because if you don't, then
when you get buried, I heard you get a butt plug when you get married. I'm like, who's giving out butt plugs?
Maybe did you get a butt plug when we got married?
Total segue to something entirely different. One little trivia bit that I found. Apparently, cinematography wise, this is one of the first films that would have had that kind of aerial view. I don't know if they mean specifically of Chicago or of any aerial views.
Really?
I wanted to mention that.
Oh, you were going to get there.
I was going to get there. The overhead shots of the city and the overhead shots of
were so
good. Was that the first time they had used like a helicopter for that?
It's like architecture porn. It's so good when they are meeting at the very, very, very beginning when not Dana Scully is meeting with mixed race Bernadette. Yeah, but like I'm sorry, Bernadette is only there to be her
murdered.
Well, to be her passage into the buildings, like she's the mixed race friend.
Hey, but she went back on her own without.
You keep saying mixed race. I don't think she's actually mixed race. I think she's fully black.
Red hair.
Her shit's clearly dyed.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, I don't know either way. Like, I'm not trying to say one way or the other. My point is, she's definitely a token character that's allowing this white person to pass through black culture without assault. I feel like that's a very intentional and explicit use of the character.
Do you feel like if she was there with a white man, she would have been less or equally not up for assault?
If not Dana Scully had gone in with the white man instead of yes, but feminism would have taken a backseat. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that to be overly cynical.
No, I get you.
I think this movie, which actually gets to the point that I'm trying to make, which is that this came out in October of 92, and April to May of 92 were the Rodney King riots.
Oh,
so this was actually very explicitly like timed and very explicitly intentional.
Well, there was some other stuff about like they did some shots in Cabrini Green, and they like had to have actual police escorts while they were filming. And some of those people were supposedly actual gangsters. Like the gangs actually were in control of that area, basically. Yeah. And they agreed to let them film there as long as they got to be in some of the shots. So those guys that were catcalling them at the beginning were actual gangsters.
Interesting. Interesting.
Because they had to do some shots on location and then a bunch of the rest of it.
That made it. I wonder how much of that made it.
I think it was just like some of those shots at the beginning and stuff when they're going up the stairs, but a lot of the rest of it was shot on like a film set, soundstage.
Yeah, sure.
But back to the aerial view for a second. There was a quote from Bernard Rose, who I think he's the director, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Says we did this with the incredible new machine called the Skycam, which can shoot up to a 500 millimeter lens with no vibration. You've never seen that shot before, at least not done that smoothly. And that was all of those aerial shots we were talking about.
Like, what was he shooting from?
Probably helicopter.
Probably
That's
helicopter.
what helicopter,
but the
right?
Skycam was like
mounted
an
below
anti-shaky cam type thing to try and keep it smooth. Yeah.
Oh, that's my shit. That's my shit. It's like, hey, we just did this thing, but then we took a thing and we added it and made it way better. I love that. I'm glad you brought up those aerial shots, though, Caitlin. I was super digging those while we were watching the movie. I was like, I need to remember to do this. Again, gets back to the note-free like aspect of this episode.
Well, note-free. I'm cribbing off of IMDb in a way, but it's different than just writing everything down throughout the film. Have we done it before? Another interesting tidbit, but just sad. Early on in the movie, whenever Bernadette had a quote about she heard a kid got shot there the other day, it says, ironically, on October 13, 1992, days before the film's release, a boy and real-life resident was shot by a stray bullet while walking to school. The shooter was identified as a local gang member named Anthony Garrett, who intended to kill someone else and was convicted on first-degree murder charge for a 100-year sentence. Ironic that that guy was named Anthony and the baby was also named Anthony.
That baby's name is Anthony?
Well, it was weeks before release at that point. They couldn't change it very well.
Okay, so
I was going to have one last cast member statement, and it's that we all recognized Helen's husband, and it's because he's in 290 films.
Jesus.
He's in The Mandalorian. He's in like Air Force One. He's in a ton
just
of
everything.
Stuff. Is he a scumbag in all of them?
I think he's just kind of generic white guy in a lot of them. In one, he's Agent Gibbs.
So I don't know. None of you all brought up the fact that Tony Todd put live bees in his mouth.
Well, we hadn't gotten to the animal cruelty corner.
It's the Animal Cruelty Hour.
It turns out that those bees were all real, and they were specifically bred for the production because they had to have bees at 12 weeks old. That's when they look fully mature, but their stingers are not developed.
I think it's 12 hours, right?
I thought it was maybe it was 12
they
hours.
don't live super long.
Let's
I'm trying to find it here.
split the difference and call it 12
it's 12 hours from like popping out of the pupa. They've been, in larva for a little
popping
while.
out of the pupa again, but slower.
God,
pop those
shut up.
Hey, baby girl, you want to pop out that pupa for me?
No.
Kaylin, let me hear you pop this piece.
So there were 200,000 real honeybees throughout the filming. Most of the crew wore bodysuits during those sections that they were filming to protect them from stings, but it said just about everybody had at least one sting by the end of it. They used synthesized queen bee pheromone to try and keep them calm when not, so they wouldn't just sting everybody. But I think it says there's a disputed fact about whether Tony Todd actually negotiated a bonus of $1,000 for each bee sting. It said he got 23 stings in the mouth and like total of 26 stings or something.
Get your money, black man, black man.
I hope he got $1,000.
Right, I hope so. Another thing said that, that's made up, but it's still on Wikipedia as a fact.
Well, then you know what? Jimmy Wales isn't letting us down today.
And the bees come from a famous family of bees in a way.
Bee Pones?
No, Norman Gary has worked on a number of other films that needed bees. From the Deadly Bees, My Girl, so the ones that killed Macaulay Culkin, right?
Huh?
In
the Bill Bees.
In the movie,
okay,
not in real life. I don't know his character's name in that movie, but My Girl is the one where Macaulay Culkin. It's like his glasses.
George W.B.
No, and also in Fried Green Tomatoes.
And
they had to have special
bee?
stingless bees, like venomous bees or something for the shots with what is Helen's actress
impotent
name?
bees. Okay.
Virginia.
Yeah,
So, like
Virginia.
Clintons.
Because she was highly allergic to bees.
Yeah, I just pulled this up. I would like to read this in conjunction to what he's saying.
Yeah.
When Bernard Rose first asked me to do the role, I said, well, I can't. I'm allergic to bees. And he said, no, you're not. You're just afraid. You're not allergic to bees. You're just afraid. So I had to go to UCLA and get tested
like a
because he
white
didn't
man.
believe me. I tested for every kind of venom. I am far more allergic to wasps. And he said, well, we'll just have paramedics there and you'll be fine.
Hashtag Hollywood, baby. Showbiz.
Oh, you'll be fine. You know, actors will do anything for a paycheck.
Yeah,
so fine. I'll be covered with bees.
Yeah.
It took her and Tony Todd 45 minutes to get all of the bees off of her after that scene. And she said they only put baby bees on her, which are less likely to sting, but don't not sting.
I mean, if he got stung fucking 26 times in his face and mouth and, like, he had to kiss her with a bunch of bees in his shit, I can't imagine she made it out unscathed.
To be fair, not to be that guy, but when they shot the kiss, as he goes,
They cut it to the back.
To the back shot for him.
They also apparently had a tiny bee vacuum, which would not harm the bees, but would aid in getting them off of her
I've
body.
seen the bee vacuum. Also, I just want to say, like, I feel like if we did that film now, there'd be like a little chamber, and you just pump that shit full of smoke, and the bees would all pass out. You just be like,
I'm a
hey,
little surprised that wasn't a thing then.
Honestly, yeah, I am too. Like, it seems doable.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to just have a totally different mental picture of it, runner-up for the role was Eddie Murphy. Too short.
Sandra
Bullock. I saw that too. Sandra Bullock was one of the potential people for Helen.
Mm-hmm. I think Sandra Bullock would have done just as beautiful a job.
Yeah. Well, and also Virginia wasn't supposed to be Helen to begin with either. They were like, she was supposed to be the Bernadette figure before they switched it to Chicago, and that's when they decided they wanted to add a black woman in there,
which is smart.
Yeah, so they switched
Demographically,
in
I
that
love
other
that.
person,
I'm glad they did that.
and I forget who the
Since they
other
were filming in like fucking February.
Yeah.
Since they also needed to make it like not just white people investigating the projects.
Yeah, and I can't remember.
But why were they investigating in fucking the UK? In London,
Well, because that was what the original short story was.
But still
based
about
on.
black people?
No. Well, I don't think so.
No, in Liverpool, no.
Well, because like I know the original Candyman was supposed to be a white man.
Yeah.
So like, were these white people projects in Liverpool?
Basically.
Yeah, the living conditions in England for the poor in that time were
because it was also based in the 70s,
and they had all kinds of things going on, but basically their homes were under other homes, and
it's all stacked.
So they legit wrote a story about some shit that had nothing to do with anything that actually happened in Chicago, and were able to swing it over to Chicago, where all of this shit somehow just actually happened.
Yep.
I mean, that's adapting. Like.
Evolving.
Just some good writers.
This is how urban legends get wings and fly away.
Yeah. That is what is transcendent about these stories, though, right? Is like in London or in Liverpool or whatever, it is about the Cockney individuals who are marginalized through that society for that reason. Over here in Chicago, it is because of these individuals that are marginalized for this other different reason.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's the same fucking story of asshole and subservient and white savior, unfortunately, in this case.
And Liverpool is where the like classic Cockney accent kind of comes from.
Yep,
It's considered the like ignorant area, or it was at the time.
Fortunately, though, in this case, we did get a really enjoyable film that, while it is white savory, I think overall is like an actually kind of beautiful, for its time especially, celebration of I don't know. I don't know that I have the right to say it's a celebration of Black culture, because it's definitely not. It's not, but it is.
A celebration is the wrong word, but I 100% would feel like it's at least trying to shed a light. It's putting a flashlight on an issue. It's definitely not a celebration.
That's
Right.
yeah.
But,
I
like,
don't. I didn't think that was.
it's calling attention to, hey, here's a problem. It's something that's like been here, and you see that no one's actually trying to fix this issue. So, like, hey, look at this. I don't know what the problem is, or I don't know what the solution is, but hey, maybe we should start trying to figure out a way to solve this thing. And I mean, I agree. I started
better than in the early '90s. Could you do better than that?
Well,
could I do better than? What do you mean?
I mean, could the film have done better than what it did, given where it was at the time?
Absolutely not. For a couple reasons. Because one, this whole thing is funded by white people.
Absolutely, of course, yeah.
So
yeah,
you can't turn, like, by no means can you like point too many fingers, especially back in a time period like that. You can't point too many fingers at who or why who or why. You couldn't be too woke.
Sure.
So in that time, for that time period, I feel like they fucking towed the line and like genuinely got right up on it and did the best that they fucking could. I mean, fucking Anne-Marie, for instance, just a working normal ass person trying to take care of her baby.
Hey,
but
we're not all gangbangers. We're not
right.
all out
Yeah, I
here
really
doing
liked
this,
Anne-Marie, and
But,
I think
you know-
she definitely got the short end of the stick in this whole thing.
Fucking yeah.
I mean, she got her baby back. Thank whatever.
Yeah.
She got her burned and traumatized, blood and honey fed for a month and a half baby back.
Well, the baby won't remember.
Won't remember the
But-
dog.
But she's just a hardworking fucking mom.
No, yeah, absolutely.
And she's probably working her fucking ass off and can't afford to live in any better place than this literal shit covered place. I feel like it's right there at telling you, like, hey, there's a crazy disparity.
And her apartment was really cute. Like, once we got in there, it was like
compared to the rest of the
decorated, really
building.
cute.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't have a window on that one side until it was super convenient.
It did. I swear it had the window. This is an argument. It had a window. But okay, back just a moment ago, it was kind of controversial at the time it came out in a few ways. There was a story in the Chicago Tribune that year where some high-profile black filmmakers said they expressed their disappointment that the film seemed to perpetuate racial stereotypes and stuff. Like, one quote from director Carl Franklin says, "There's no question that this film plays on white middle-class fears of black people.
Yeah.
It unabashedly uses racial stereotypes and destructive myths to create shock. I found it hokey and unsettling. It didn't work for me because I don't share those fears, buy into those myths." And then there's some other quotes just similar to that from other people there too. But
well, with my
you want to speak for all of black,
I for sure
right now.
I for sure feel like I could like we're not fucking people of all shapes and sizes exist. There are a lot of shitty black people. There are a lot of shitty white people. There are a lot of great white people. There are a lot of great fucking black people.
Is he a shitty person?
Who?
Candyman. He was
inherently
a
is.
good man.
Inherently, yes, on the acid, the murdering and all that.
That was a lot of chaos.
That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the gangbangers, the fucking
all right.
like the what somebody might say. It's playing into the middle class whites stereotype of what black people do. It has some gangsters at the bottom of the stairwell giving them grief, but I mean, it's got a real nice little kid who's got the best side eye ever. By
One
the
take
way.
Jake. They called him One Take Jake on set because all of his takes, he basically just did them right the first time.
That dude's so cool.
What a little badass.
Dewan guy.
That
Dewan guy
nails his role, and it's so good.
He was great.
But I say that to say that so they've got some gangsters at the bottom of the stairwell. They've got fake Candyman and his little posse that beat up Helen or whatever. But
Finty man. It's like Finstagram.
So they've got Dewan Guy, they've got Bernadette, they've got Anne-Marie. While they show how shitty things are in this in the projects, they show that there's clearly a lot of desperation and drug activity, whatever. It's a shithole. It is. But they also show these shining examples of black people.
Yes, of like, hey,
right
this
alongside
mom's
of
doing her
that.
shit. Yeah.
So like, I don't agree with that, and I can fully understand somebody in the '90s being like, "Hey, man, I mean, it wasn't that long ago before that they bombed that neighborhood in Philadelphia. So like,
what I'm saying though, is it different though, or are we oddly like just at the exact same spot
today?
Yeah, because I feel like
We're not. We're not. Why?
Because we're not having 7-year-olds named Jake deliver all of the heavy exposition for why you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I guess, but are
He
we
said
not just
Amory ain't here.
Are we not just now having like little white or little black girls deliver that instead? Like, is it? Are we just developed to the point where our minorities are portrayed through female members of that minority instead?
Okay,
of
I will say in Harry Potter #3, there is expositionary black kid.
yeah.
There's just this kid who's in not a single other
So
movie.
they're starting magical Negroes off at a younger age now?
Oh yes.
But no, I don't think that we're in a similar place as we were that in that time period. And as racist as the minority of America wants to be, I don't in general walk down the street and feel like anybody's looking at me like, oh, he must be, oh, he's got to be slinging dope or like whatever, I'm not, even in my own lifetime, I am nowhere near judged as much just by appearance as I was 10 years ago. So America and all of this fuck shit that we're going through and today is still much stronger than it was even 10 years ago, I feel. For as just a black man walking down the street.
Do you think that's, I don't know, maybe we're not ready to get into this, but do you think that's the difference of online culture versus like IRL culture though?
Facts. People are stupid as fuck on the internet. They'll say whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. People on the internet.
Is the problem then that we're just taking we're reporting on what it's being said behind anonymous walls?
Well, no, because it's also in our White House. So it's no longer it's no longer just anonymous. It's very front and center and is a issue that needs to be dealt with.
Message.
Like it's not in our day-to-day lives. I experience racism so much less, well, at least to my face, than I did 10 years ago.
In the same spaces?
The same spaces.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Good. Fucking good. To be clear.
It'd be nice to say something like about time, but we're somehow.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do at that point, right?
How stupid. You know how stupid a racist sounds today?
Yeah, he's in the White House.
Well, hey.
Message.
But like, oh, what? I can't say blah 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 because it's too, or because we're all woke now or whatever.
We're all woke now. Yeah.
This didn't fit anywhere else yet, but Bernard Rose.
Hang on. We need to clean in.
So this didn't fit anywhere else yet, but the director had Virginia Madsen and Tony Todd take ballroom dancing classes together so they'd have more of a romantic
I for sure could see that.
Definitely have that vibe. There's several times where he'll like turn her and then
it's just sexy as fuck. I mean, as soon as he pulls up on the scene, she's Riz. She fucking gets glossed over eyes and is like high on
it
some
literally
shit.
changes the camera angle, and I swear they like feather her shit out more because it goes to like this film noir like light bar on her eyes and then shadow on the rest. Also, when I discussed this with my sister earlier today, I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna watch Candyman," and she went, "The 1992 original," and I went, "Yeah," and she went, "Listen,
Gush.
I know we're not supposed to romanticize serial killers, but like,
Not a serial killer.
fuck, he's hot." Keep in mind, my sister is like 98% lesbian.
I'm sorry, is Katie Cottonmouth from Holes a serial killer?
Oh.
From Holes?
Yeah.
Is she the urban legend from the Mirror Urban
Kissing
Legend
Kate
from
Barlow?
Holes?
Kissing Kate Barlow, that's what I
Kissing
meant.
Kate Barlow straight up a serial kill. Yes.
Okay, are we not romanticizing her? Because I am.
Oh, she's so hot. I never said we.
All I'm saying is that there is zero fucking difference between at least the legend version as is presented this movie, not even getting into the real life inspirations, but as is presented in this version.
Kissing Kate Barlow can murder me with her lipstick any fucking day.
And Tony Todd's Candyman is
Tony Todd can ask me to be his victim any fucking day.
Be my victim.
I want to say how big of a reveal it is when he opens his coat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, with the ribs and
yeah,
gorgeous.
You go this whole fucking movie with him just being dapper, man. Coat, flawless. Shoes, flawless. Hair,
not there.
Voice, words,
Also, like
flawless.
a 2-hour build-up. Like he's not in the movie until like
44 minutes in or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of
That's
build-up.
the same amount that Beetlejuice.
Yeah, but then his like first.
But this guy, way cooler. Beetlejuice has no chill.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's nothing but chill. He's
very true.
Fucking he rizzed me up. I'm 100% straight.
There was
buddy.
There was something about him in being intended to be like an African American Dracula figure, basically.
Yeah, which is essentially Phantom.
And yeah, Phantom, and he's got hypnotizing presence. And they apparently it said Virginia Madsen says that she got hypnotized for some of those scenes.
I believe it.
I saw something about that they hypnotize certain performers for certain scenes.
Oh wait. I do not believe that. I need to call a hard time out and rescind what I just said. I did not understand what was said. That's bullshit.
You think so?
Well, I don't think that they can hypnotize and actually take over or whatever, and you're actually zoned out or anything there, but more of some type of inducing a deep chill.
Sure. I can 100% get behind them preparing her for the scene in a way that has her in a space, in a specific headspace.
And that's what I think you mean by that. Not actually being oh, you're hypnotized. Oh,
yeah, no.
Zombie mode.
As if you're going to be in Steve Carell movie like The Big Chill or something.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Well, do we need to touch on the white savior thing, or do we think people get it?
We've mentioned it.
All right, let's all the white people in the room, can we just all say white savior film?
White savior film. Yeah. It ends with a absolute parade of people from the projects coming up to this funeral where it's just the dead gal's husband and girlfriend, her lawyer, and then the guy that's why didn't you read my paper from 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Ben Franklin, the albacore tuna. Those are the only people that were there. And then instead of being supportive, they just glare and then throw the hook hand in.
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
Also, don't bury me with the fucking hook hand.
Just clanks
I
right
don't
off
want
the
that
coffin.
shit in my.
I mean, I feel like it was. I also feel like that was a little symbolic because Candyman's whole thing was he wanted to be at infamy with his dead pregnant girlfriend from way back when. So the hook being thrown in there gave him what he wanted, and she saved the baby. So I don't know, but yeah, I can say that while they did very much so pull that ending out to be a white savior thing, I'm grateful that the majority, the whole flex of the film wasn't a white savior story. Just the ending turned out that way.
Do you think that doesn't color the whole thing, though?
No, I don't at all.
There's a hand up over
I will interject one statement as far as, it might be white saviory. When she crawls out of the fire and she's actively on fire, and she's the last known suspect of kidnapping the baby, and she crawls out and just offers up the baby, and Anne Marie is she doesn't say shit. She just makes a happy face and picks up her.
I stomped that bitch's
Why are you happy? Yeah, I'm kicking her back into the fire. Thank you for giving me back my baby, but also you stole him and tried to murder him, and you killed my dog.
Which, for the record, she was hypnotized into doing all of the terrible things. There was no Candyman that physically came out and did well.
What about the doctor though? The doctor got her out of the chair.
But we're all seeing it from her hallucination, so maybe she did it.
Yeah, but also no one ever picked up the baby and put him in the room. He just was there, and then she was in the bathroom.
Unless she did it.
Well, we'll have to watch both.
It was just
either way, if I'm Anne Marie, this bitch just crawled out of the bonfire with my baby.
Yeah, no, I'm still on your side.
She just tried to kill my baby.
That was an incredibly goofy scene all the way around. But hey, what about our? But hey, our expectations though, because I feel like I'm solid standing on top of my 8 that I gave it earlier.
Ooh, I did give it a 6 pixie sticks filled with poison from your dad. And I would adapt it to an 8. I'd bump it up to an 8. And I only withhold from a 10 because of the glaring visual errors, i.e. harness, and at one point she's wearing black shoes, and then in the next shot they're blue. And
I did not see that one.
I know, you're boys, I guess.
But yeah, no, this one was really awesome. So I'm gonna jump it up there. What, 5 or 6 to like a 8 or 9, something like that. This rocked.
Yeah, I feel like this movie was way better than any Halloween, fucking any Freddy Krueger film, any of that shit. And I wish that this was my introduction into horror. Well, first of all, from an age that I could actually understand what was going on. I wish that this was my introduction into stuff rather than stuff like Jason movies or, you know, this was awesome. Thank you guys for indulging me.
Yeah.
All right. So I would say, honestly, I think this was definitely an 8 for me. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a beautiful homage to Phantom of the Opera that was mixed in with like the racial tensions of fucking Chicago in the 90s. And I think it's hard to say, like, if we got it now, because we're so cynical and angry and overexposed.
We do have it now. Candyman just came out.
Yeah,
I could not hold as much, and as much as I love Jordan Peele and what he does, I was going to hate on him, and I'm going to rescind that and say, I feel like if anybody was going to try to capture the essence of this movie, it would definitely be him to do.
I definitely feel like we should just not record it, but just do watch.
Yeah, for sure. Got to. That one is a direct sequel to this one.
Right, not a remake, which I always forget.
But also bypasses all the other sequels.
Yep.
Of which there are 2 or 3.
Terminator, Dark Fate.
Which I can immediately feel like, because this movie was so great.
Or there's at least 2 sequels to this one, and then the reboot-ish thing also functions as a direct sequel.
Thing that we were just talking about?
Yes, but it functions as like a direct sequel, but I don't know how it works with the other 2.
I'm assuming it just omits them.
Yeah, like just skips out on them.
And without having watched the other 2, without watching the other 2, I'm going to assume that this movie did so well that they wanted to turn it into a cash cow, and probably didn't do half as decently.
Oh, I'm sure
on the so-called sequels.
I did see some clips from it while we were doing research, and it does look like they honored Tony Todd, and he is killing it Riz style. He's got some real good shots in the next 2.
Yeah.
Man, like, I don't usually view Tony Todd as a sexual object, considering he died 2 years ago.
R.I.P.
Stay young.
I mean, he's got real, like, Phantom of the Opera energy, which is hot.
And again, reminder, Eddie Murphy at 5'9" was too short, and Tony Todd is a ringing 6'5".
Eddie Murphy with the mustache.
Bro, that would have made this movie so goofy unintentionally.
I can just imagine anytime he lifted up the hook, it would have done the like cartoon shing.
It would have unintentionally it would have unintentionally turned this movie into like The Mask, but a horror film.
Not everybody likes hooks.
Now some people like to come at you with a knife. Me, shing. I like the hook.
Okay, I can't with this.
Okay, now
it's a great ending. I love you all.
Why are we pausing?
Y'all be barefoot as hell.
Cat did a stinky poop. Stinky poop cat.
Not even my fucking cat.
He Becca's cat comes over here to shit in our litter box.
And then goes home.
And then goes back to chill out on his side of the bucket.
Criminals.
Anyway.
Yeah.
They found it floating in a toilet. Can't fix that. Better off dead.
The fuck is he talking about?